Welcome to the Family History Guide, Researching Genealogical Records in Wales. This video will introduce you to Wales Goal 1, Research and Records, and will teach you step by step about finding records for your Welsh ancestors and relatives. The Family History Guide has the best content and organization for learning about Welsh records. All genealogical records are tied to the location where the records were created, and boundary changes affect how you find the records. In Wales, historically, records were and are kept by a complex system of jurisdictions. A jurisdiction is a geographic area over which a state or county or other division of the country had an administrative responsibility to collect information. The Family Research Wiki is also invaluable to clarify the complex history and to assist in finding specific records. One of the first things you need to know about records in Wales is the changes in the county boundaries. This is important because locating the records involves determining the county where your ancestors lived, and changing county boundaries could change where the records were kept, even if your ancestor never moved. The 13 traditional counties of Wales were created at various times between 1282 AD and 1535-36, when the Act of Union between England and Wales took place. The historic counties of Wales existed for several hundred years, but for administrative purposes, these original counties have been superseded by contemporary subnational divisions, some of which bear limited similarity to the historic entities in name and extent. These administrative counties and county boroughs were first established in Wales in 1889. Urban and rural districts were formed in 1894. The Local Government Act of 1972 replaced the administrative counties created in 1889 with 8 new administrative counties. This change took effect in 1974. The preserved counties of Wales, known as lieutenancy areas, were also redefined to use the newly created local government areas, defined by the Act as counties. Furthermore, use of the historic counties as postal counties were stopped by the Royal Mail in 1975, and those historic counties were no longer shown on maps. However, in spite of widespread misunderstanding, the Local Government Act of 1972 never abolished the historic counties. Indeed, the Department of the Environment made this very clear in a statement it issued on 1 April 1974. Quote, "The new county boundaries are solely for the purpose of defining areas of local government. They are administrative areas and will not alter the traditional areas of counties, nor is it intended that the loyalties of people living in them will change." The 8 new administrative counties were themselves replaced in 1996 by the current principal areas of Wales, but modified versions were retained for lieutenancy as the preserved counties. Here is a map of the historic counties of Wales. Here is a map of the county boundaries before 1974. This map shows the county boundaries from 1974 to 1996. This is a map of the county boundaries after 1996. It is important to become aware of these changes to make sure you understand where the records might be located and how they might be cataloged. A map of the historic counties shows 13 counties. The FamilySearch.org catalog lists 25 counties. The current number of counties is listed as 22. However, after 1994, there were 8 counties and 37 districts. The solution to this challenge is to carefully identify the exact geographic location of events in your ancestors' and relatives' lives, and make sure you identify the county boundaries that existed when the events occurred. Before 1837, the first step in finding records is to identify the religion of your ancestors. They could have been members of the Church of England or nonconformist, which included Catholics and other Protestant churches. Their religious orientation may also be unknown. Religious affiliation can first be determined by contacting living relatives and then by researching records systematically back in time. Once you know your ancestors' religion, you next need to know the county where events occurred, such as baptisms, marriages, and burials. You can then begin to search in church records for the county that existed at the time. Fortunately, English and Wales census records usually required listing the place of birth of each person. The availability and access to Church of England records depends on the individual parish or diocese. These records, called registers, were supposed to have started in 1538, though some parishes did not start keeping them until as late as 1598. After 1837, you can also look for civil registration records. Civil registration records usually record births, marriages, and deaths. You need to be aware that there may be many locations for a specific place name. For example, there are 7 different places in Great Britain named Ramsey. If you know the parish or place where an event occurred, you can use the Genealogical Gazetteer to find the county. Beginning in 1841, Wales was part of the England and Wales census. The census records are available every 10 years until 1911 on FamilySearch.org, Ancestry.com, and FindMyPast.com. Presently, the 1921 census is only available from FindMyPast.com, but this may change over time. A very helpful map and database is the England and Wales Jurisdictions 1851 on the FamilySearch.org website. You can find the map by looking at the site map for the website or by searching for the map by name. There are newspaper records dating back to 1800. The National Library of Wales has some selected online digital records. Archives Wales, the National Archives of Wales, has only recently begun digitizing national and local records, but large collections of Welsh records are available on FamilySearch.org, Ancestry.com, and FindMyPast.com. Some of the records are held primarily in Great Britain, such as the military records. These records are also available on Ancestry.com, FindMyPast.com, and FamilySearch.org. The more you learn about the history of Wales and the records that are available, the more likely it is that you will find information about your ancestral family. The links in the Family History Guide will provide you with valuable information about how to find your ancestors in Wales. Study the choices in this goal to develop your research skills.